Hello, Void. Welcome back to Orange Pen Studios. I am your host, Orange Pen, and today we're talking about Tetro Danganronpa Blues. I forgot what day, which week it was, and we're going to talk about what happened on Friday, because, hey, stuff happened, specifically regarding Ikeda. As always, it's becoming more and more apparent that Ikeda Daiki is our protagonist. It's kind of disappointing, because not as endearing as Hiroaki as I would have hoped, but it is what it is. No, we started the day off with the medical check-in with Hirose and Tay. Very good. And honestly, pretty pretty good, yeah. Just more knowledge on what is exactly happening to Tay, specifically his visual censorship by Monomoko. Well, currently everyone's thinking it's censorship because Monomoko's actively making sure he doesn't see things. You know, sounds like censorship. And usually gore or blood, or something referring to a murder or suspected murder that Monomoko thinks is going on. I feel like that latter part is more so Monomoko's role in the game as purveyor of everything. It's the host. They have a job to fulfill. However, what I find way more interesting and way more character compelling is that it's blurring out traumatizing things that Tay might be experiencing. In fact, seeing the murder happen in front of him might have been traumatic in of itself, which might be why Monomoko decided to censor it. In fact, it's very good. But moving on, I will return to it. Don't worry, I will return to it later when we get to Ikeda's spotlight. First, we gotta talk about there was an Ikeda and Kumada episode, which we see why Vaughn said that Hiroaki and Tamba were the trial because oh my god, these insults. They're so good. They're so good. Oh, it's so entertaining. However, the stuff they're saying is horrible, don't get me wrong. But damn! I find it very enjoyable. But yeah, saying horrible, horrible, horrible things. And then Ikeda then saying very ominously throughout the day, starting his very ominous trend of saying, wait until dinner. Wait until. Ah! That suspense was like, oh, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? And then, there is a spider on my wall, there's a spider on my wall, there is a spider on my wall. I am going to move real quick. Ah, ah, ah. Oh, sorry. If I had a nickel for every time a Tetro danganronpa related YouTuber had an insect in their room, a creepy insect in their room, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Anyways, we're standing now and we're going to talk about what was I talking about? Oh yeah. Yep. I'm not going to get into the specifics on the insults because I don't think I'm allowed to say it on YouTube. But let me check real quick what is next on. Sorry if I was a bit loud there. On the video playlist. Bad news. I missed liminal space. So moving down under my bed. I lost bed, so uh, we're gonna talk about liminal space, which is all it is really is just teasing us about motive happening tomorrow. What? Oh no, liminal space is Tadematsu abuse time. Okay. Sorry for that, kerfluffle. You could Muranaga. This is the first time we're actually seeing Muranaga's abuse by Tadematsu directly, like in the series itself. And if you didn't, it's very subtle. I will say that if you don't know what Tadematsu's up to, you could very easily miss it. I feel that's my personal opinion because she's such a good liar and manipulator, and quite honestly, that's kind of scary because it's happened before, and now we have Tadematsu's weird. Creeps me out. Also, didn't realize Tadematsu had blue hair. Weird characterization, but still, it's Tadematsu. Um, Next up, we have student spotlight. Not a lot. We just learned that Ikeda doesn't like Ono. Again, a given due to the fact that Ono freaking coerced the entire group into doing it, into trying to attack him. Started it. He wasn't the main perpetrator. That was definitely Kumada. Also, more subtle hints towards what he's going to do that day at dinner, which we will talk about. And yeah, not really anything too interesting. However, we did get to see. Actually, no, I should talk about this. Um, he seems to have the opinion that he is above everyone else, if that makes sense. He seems kind of like he thinks of himself as a genius. Now, this could either be from mental training from his father, but clear that he doesn't understand basic empathy or something. I don't know. I'm not a great judge of character, but it seems to me like just feels like he's better than everyone else around him in a way that's not really healthy. His worldview, very explicitly stated, is there are strong people, there are powerful, smart people in the world, and idiots flock to said smart people. Now, people he notes are smart are Yatsubashi, Ogura, to everyone's surprise, including his own, and himself. And then also potentially Ruka? Maybe Maikawa. But other than that, nothing much. Gonna go check what's next again. Next up, we have Scar Tissue. Wonderful. Uh, Maikawa breaking into Shishikura's room. The fact that Shishikura's room is unlocked while he was showering is kind of worrying. He might die in there, you know. Also, ship material for Shishikura and Maikawa, which I don't know. I ship it. So I don't know, nothing up with that. Uh Moving on, we have congregation, which is the dinner party. It's just dinner, during which Ikeda reveals that Sukigane is he's been human trafficked. And his real name isn't even Sukigane. It's what I forgot what his real name is. But wow, that was a fucking dark ass twist that I did not see coming. No one saw that coming. It's dark. And Ikeda basically retorts Kumada with "beat that," which is, oh my god. However, there are some things about this I'm going to need to come back to. But after we discuss the next episode, which is an Ogura and Tsukigata duo episode, which Tsukigata firmly has bought into the delusion that Ogura is a goddess, and he's begging for her to help. Not just him, Ikeda. I find that telling, because those two are connected in some way important, I feel. And honestly, it's going to come back. I can feel it in my bones. And my crackpot theory is Tsukigata was sold to Ikeda's father. That's why Ikeda wants Ogura to save both of them. And that explains why Ikeda knows. Ikeda has a hard time getting attachment to people, so that's why he probably doesn't care. And the only kink I have in this theory is that he didn't realize who Tsukigata was right away. Now, that could be because Ikeda is isolated from everyone else. And is, I don't know, Ikeda's kept away. He's locked away. He's in the art sweatshop. And he's only seen Tsukigata maybe once or twice, ever. So, mm. However, Tsukigata must um what hear a lot about Ikeda from Ikeda's father. Which would make sense, but also you must also know that Ikeda is being abused. So I don't know. Um aside from that aside from that little crackpot theory, we have one more episode to round off the day, which is uh Monomoko going to Fugahiro, I think it is, and going, "Hey, Uh, just want to make sure everything's ready for me talking about motive. Am I cleared to do that?" And he's like, "Yep, pretty much on my end. If you're not, I'll take flag for it. That's it. You might want to talk to Dr. Higashi, but other than that, you're good to go." And Manamoko's like, "Great. Uh, wonderful. I'll go tell them tomorrow." And boom, that's going to be where we pick up next this week, which is I'm I'm ready to go. Hit us with a motive. Let's go. Um, predictions. No current predictions right now for who's gonna die. I'll figure something up, but motive prediction, we know that's coming. So calling it now. We're gonna get hmm, too early to have something regarding food supply. I feel like that would be a chapter 4 or 5 motive. Feeling me. Ooh. Hold up. Constantly cold water in the showers. No, that's a bad motive. That's a bad motive. Scratch that. I can. I don't know. We'll come back to that. Deaths. Ikita's getting his ass murdered. And I'm feeling Kumada on this. I'm really feeling Kumada on this. Hell, this could be a double kill. Throw in Sukigata for extra pain. And then set up Ogre Killer Chapter 3. Hell yeah. That's my prediction now. That's actually, I don't know. It's not that good, not that bad. We'll have to see what the motive is next week and how they get impacted by it. What would be next? I don't know. Came up with a really good chapter 5 motive. No, they don't have the budget for that though. Never mind. I was initially going to say flooding for that, but no. No, they have the budget for that much water. Because they're not on the coast, they're in a mountain. But, anyways, we have not going to be lights. We've already done that. Constant white noise coming from the speakers. That could be very annoying. White noise from the speakers is my final guess. Anyways, uh, we'll be back in a week to see if I'm right, and I'm probably going to post another riddles thing for Marvel Rivals also during the week. I'm not expecting any of you to do them. My expectations were severely lowered with our Nintendo Land one, so I will see you all then. Maybe I'll make something in between there. Yeah. Bye.